Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Well, we'll take a few more minutes and let some other people come in, but it's so great to see you all.
Good evening.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Ooh, okay. Let me go back. Okay. Well, it's 6, so we'll go ahead and get started, and then if other people come in, that'll be great. We'll just welcome them in. But first off, thank you all so much for being here. My name is Kayla, and I'm just thrilled that you're here, and I love this topic. So I'm glad that you're willing to be a part of this training and a part of this research, and I'm just so grateful. So first off, this is Mentor Impact, and it's promoting social emotional success within a mentor and mentee relationship. So this is training session number 1. So number 2 is next Thursday at the same time. If you want to go ahead and join us for that one as well. And I will, that will be really beneficial as well. First off, I also want to introduce Pamela. She is in our group right now. This is Pamela, and she's from our research team and from our lab as well. And so she'll be helping me out tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me as I'm going throughout the presentation. I think we have a pretty small group, so feel free to just hop in and ask. You can also put it in the chat box, and Pamela is kind of going to be monitoring that as we're going throughout the presentation, so we can address those in the chat box at the end of the session as well. Also, I don't expect it to go the full hour and a half tonight. Kind of depends on questions and what you guys' thoughts are as well, but I don't expect it to be the full hour and a half. I just wanted to let you all know that as well. Okay, so here we go. Any questions before we begin? Are we good? Okay, great. Okay, so first off, my name is Kayla. Like I said, I'm a school psychology doctoral candidate at Texas A&M. That is my email address if you need to get a hold of me at all. I am pretty flexible and always open to email, so feel free to reach out to me. Also, a little bit of a story about me. I was a big sister in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I loved it. It impacted me in such a positive way. And then I went on to grad school, and my advisor did a lot of research in social emotional learning, which I found was really fascinating. So I wanted to combine my two loves of mentorship and then social emotional learning into this training session for you guys to do my own research in that aspect. Okay, so here is a little overview of the project steps and kind of how It's going to look there. There are a lot of steps. So I wanted to have it in this format so you guys could look at it and refer back to it. The first step that you're going to do is complete the Qualtrics survey. Well, on the next screen, I'll give you some time to complete that if you haven't already done so. I think I emailed hopefully everyone before this the Qualtrics survey in case you wanted some time to do that. But also I'll be giving 10 minutes in just a second for you to fill that out as well. And then at the end of that, there's this little small thing where you fill out like a raffle, and there'll be a drawing will occur for anybody who's filled that out. A drawing will occur for 4 $50 Amazon gift cards for those who have submitted the Qualtrics survey. The survey isn't too long. It should take about 10 minutes to complete. Then the second step, which is where you're at right now, woohoo, it is to attend the first training session. So at the end of this training session, you'll also be given the opportunity to fill out the same kind of similar raffle link. And then later on, I'll go through that and it kind of randomly picks someone, and there will be a drawing for 3 $25 Amazon gift cards for all of you who have attended. So there's an incentive to attend. So that's awesome. And then I'll just email you if you've won. And hopefully, I probably will do that within probably by tomorrow. You'll receive an email from me if you have won the raffle for that at least. And then the third step is to attend the second training session, which is next week. And then same for that. Drawing will occur for 3 $25 Amazon gift cards for everyone who attends that one. Then, after you've engaged in all the trainings and gathered all this information, the fourth step is to engage in those topics that we're going to discuss and the activities that we discuss with your mentees. So you'll be able to use those in your meetings that you have with them, or with your littles, I should say. And then we'll also be available for biweekly check-ins, and I'll go over the dates for those. But if you want any support at all, while you're going through those sessions or those meetings with your mentee, maybe you need some modification of some of the activities or have some further questions, we will be available. It is on Thursdays and will be available every other week. And yeah, so if you want to attend those are definitely not mandatory, but I kind of look at them in the sense of like an office hours kind of thing. So if you just have any questions or need my support in any way, I just want to be there for you guys. Then the last step is after those 12 weeks. So you're going to have 12 weeks to meet with your mentees, go over some of these lesson plans and activities. And then at the end, I will email you all a follow-up survey. And it's the same survey as what you're completing today or have already completed. It's just post kind of the intervention. And then after that, a drawing will occur for 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. And so, hey, everybody, Amazon has so much stuff. So if you have $100, you have a wide variety of things that you can go buy. But if you to be entered into that one, you do have to attend both training sessions and then also complete the pre and the post surveys. And then at the bottom here, I have an access to a Google Drive and lesson plans. And I can email you this link, y'all, all this week link as well. But this is to all the activities that we're going to talk about. That way you can print it out if you want, and bring them to your meetings with your mentee, that kind of thing. But there'll be a Google Drive with multiple folders for things that y'all can access. And this, I'll input this slideshow as well. That way you can go back and refer if you want into the Google Drive. Okay, so a little overview of what we're going to do today. First thing is you're going to take 10 minutes to complete the survey if you haven't already done so. And then after that, I'm going to go into a little bit of an overview of what SEL is, what social emotional learning is. Then I'll go into the importance of social emotional learning. Then after that, we'll look at the 5 core social emotional learning competencies. And then this is the important part. We'll go into the steps for teaching those social emotional competencies to your mentees. So there's 5 kind of lesson plans that we have, but tonight we'll be going through the first 2, which is self-awareness and self-management. And then in the next training session, we'll go through the last 3. Okay, so now we're going to kind of take 10 minutes to complete the Qualtrics survey if you haven't already done so. And here is the link. So if y'all just want to copy and paste that into your web browser, you can, let me send this in the group chat for y'all. Would that be helpful? The link, or has anyone not completed it yet? I guess I should ask that first.
I've completed mine. I don't know who
Perfect.
else.
You're ahead of the game. Look at you. Let me Okay, I'm going to exit here and put it in the chat for y'all. Okay, so here is a link and you can just copy and paste it into your web browser and then complete that Qualtrics survey. And we'll take about 10 minutes to do that. So we'll just pause for 10 minutes. If you've already completed it, feel free to take a little break, maybe grab a little water, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay. So it's been about 10 minutes. We have, um, so if anyone is still working on it, can you maybe let me know? Maybe put thumbs down or something if you still need some more time. Okay. Were there any thumbs down? I don't know if I saw. Sometimes my screen is okay. Okay, great. Let's move on then. Any questions? Did you have any questions or need anything after completing the survey? Are we all good? Okay, great. So first question is what is social emotional learning? And you'll see in the research a lot it's referenced as SEL. So okay, so this is a quote that I found that I thought was really helpful, kind of gathering information on what SEL is. It is to help children recognize and manage emotions, express empathy for others, establish positive relationships, make responsible decisions, and handle challenging situations constructively and ethically. And then SEL is really great because it's not just for children, it's also really great for adults too. And research has shown that it has had, multiple impacts in multiple areas, and people are able to gain all kinds of skills. So, some of the skills are they're able to recognize and manage their emotions better, set and achieve positive goals, demonstrate care and concern for others, which is like that empathy piece, establish and maintain positive relationships. They're able to make more responsible decisions and kind of think about their decisions and goal set in that kind of way. And we'll go through all this in the activities and how to incorporate that. Also, they handle interpersonal situations more effectively. This is kind of a famous wheel for SEL. It is has the 5 core competencies in it in this corner. So it has the social awareness piece, um, the relationship skills, the self-management, and then the responsible decision making. And I'll go into the definition and what each of those means later on. Who's doing that? Okay. And then what is the importance of SEL? So SEL has been incorporated into a lot of research, and a lot of research specifically within like the school settings and implementing it into schools. Um, so there have been lots of increases in academic achievement. So kids who have participated in these kinds of programs have shown, increase in their academic abilities. Also, there's been an increase in positive social interactions. So they report, being able to interact socially better and having more impactful conversations sometimes when they're engaging in a social place. Fewer behavior problems, which is a really great thing as well. There have been like truancy levels were down, that kind of thing. Um, Also, just overall positive life outcomes, which I think has a lot to do with the goal setting that you have and you implement. And then these skills have shown increases that develop competencies that last a lifetime. So that's really encouraging because what you're teaching your mentee or your little really can impact their life over time and for a long time. And then why is this important for mentees? Why now, right? So not all children receive the proper SEL modeling at home, and they need additional supports. So it's just being there for them and teaching them these skills if they don't get it at home. This was a quote by a teacher in an article that I found that was really impactful. She said, the kids who get social emotional skill development from home need reinforcement. So even if they are getting it from their parents and they are learning these skills at home, it's just great to reinforce that when you're meeting with them. And then the students who don't get it at home simply need to be taught it. So you're there to help teach them and guide them in these skills. Okay, so the 5 core SEL competencies, these are kind of the ones that I had just talked about, and we in the 5 lesson plans that we have, we look at each of those core competencies. So, why are these core competencies important and where can they be taught? So, they can be taught and applied at various developmental stages from childhood to adult and across diverse cultural contexts. So, they have been to go across the cultures as well. It is also important to integrate SEL through ongoing collaboration with families and or community organizations, which is kind of where you all lie is in the, Big Brothers Big Sisters is more of a community organization, which is so great that you're wanting to implement these things in that area. This wheel is showing what different areas SEL can be implemented in. So, for instance, I mentioned it can be implemented in like a school setting, a classroom. It can also be implemented in the overall school environment. Then it also impacts, the families and the caregivers, and lastly, the communities. And it's important to note that if you want to do some more research or more investigation into this topic in social emotional learning, Castle, ooh, well, Castle that I have at the bottom there, they are a great organization, and you can just Google Castle, and they have a lot of great resources and great um, research on this topic. And if you want to dive a little bit deeper into the topic of SEL. So now I'm going to go into the definitions of the 5 core competencies. So the first one is self-awareness. So that's the ability to understand one's own emotions, thoughts, and values, and then how that influence your behavior and across different contexts as well. The second one is self-management. So that's the ability to manage one's emotions, your thoughts, and your behaviors effectively in different situations, and then also to achieve goals and aspirations. The third one is social awareness, this is the ability to understand the perspectives and empathize with others. So that's the empathy piece that we're kind of talking about. And that's including those from diverse backgrounds, from different cultures and different contexts. The last two are relationship skills. So, relationship skills, kind of like it sounds right, is the ability to establish and maintain healthy and supportive relationships and how to effectively navigate settings with diverse individuals and groups. The last one is responsible decision making. This is the ability to make caring and constructive choices for your life. Maybe it's about personal behavior, how your personal behavior impacts that, and then also just social interactions across diverse situations. So now we'll look at the steps for teaching these competencies to your mentees. So this is a little bit of an overview of the lesson plan. So lesson plan number 1 is really about understanding your feelings. Lesson number 2 is about relaxation techniques, and it teaches them how to implement different relaxation strategies. Lesson 3 is understanding other people's feelings. Lesson number 4 is problem solving in relationships. And then lesson number 5 is goal setting and showing respect. So we'll go through the first 2 lesson plans today. And like I said, all these, I put the Google Drive in the chat box. All of these lesson plans are on the Google Drive. So I have them put into folders. So there's 5 different folders to say lesson plan number 1, lesson number 2, lesson number 3, and you can access these activities. So I wanted to provide you all a script. You definitely don't have to use this script, but I wanted to provide it to you in case you needed some further guidance on how to introduce this topic to your mentees, or how to let them know why you might be engaging in some of these activities in the next few weeks. So This is just something that you can use if you want. It says, for the next few weeks, we'll be engaging in different activities when we meet. We will discuss how to solve problems, how to set goals, and how to think in a way that helps us in life. You will learn important new skills that will help you work well with others and that will help you make good choices. These new skills will also build up your emotional strength and they will continue to be valuable as you become an adult. And then just making sure to tell them that everyone needs to be healthy and that looks emotionally and physically healthy. And these activities will help them learn skills that they may use to be emotionally healthy throughout their whole life. And also the activities that we'll be doing, they are adapted from the Strong Kids program, which is by Dr. Merrill and her colleagues. So I put that at the bottom as well for if you want to reference her work. So the first one is lesson plan number 1. This is understanding feelings. So the goal for this lesson plan is recognizing emotions, personal goals, and mentees' own values. Some objectives or activities are teaching them how to recognize simple emotions like sadness, anger, and happiness, and then identifying factors that may trigger stress or anger reactions in them. So this has a sample script to just start out this lesson plan if you want to use it. It says, today we will learn to better identify our own feelings as they're sometimes called emotions. We will talk about different types of feelings and identify them as being comfortable or uncomfortable. And then I also provided some definitions for you all in case they have more questions or you have questions about what those words mean. So, what emotion means, what comfortable feelings are, and then what uncomfortable feelings are. Saying, comfortable feelings make people feel good and they can help you have fun and enjoy life. And then, uncomfortable feelings, they may make people feel kind of bad, but they can help us grow and change for the better. Okay, so this is the first activity. So this one's understanding feelings. And basically what this is going through is, and how y'all can set this up is, it's a list of, I have 2 different lists. So there's the list number 1 and the list number 2. And list number 1 is more, maybe if you have a mentee that's in elementary or middle school. And then list number 2 is a little bit, has more words that are maybe more for middle or high schooler. And if you need to modify this or need to get a hold of me and need some more options for this, let me know and we can always do that as well. And then the directions for this activity is kind of what I was just saying, identifying and providing the definition to them of what comfortable and uncomfortable feelings are. And then what you're going to do is that for each of the lists, you're going to have them put a plus mark next to any words that you think describe, comfortable feelings, and then a minus mark next to any words that you think describe uncomfortable feelings. So for instance, happy, obviously, I would say that makes me pretty comfortable to be happy. So I would put a plus sign above that. And you all can print these out if you want. That might be easiest for them to be able to write on it. Maybe, bringing them some markers or something to mark this up on. Okay, and then the next activity in this lesson plan. Oh, and I don't think I said this earlier, but feel free, like I provided multiple activities. So this is for you to just kind of pick and choose from these that you want to use to help them understand their feelings. So don't feel like you have to go through like all 3 of these activities and feel rushed or anything. These are just recommendations for you all to use. So this one is, from the list of feelings at the bottom of this sheet, they're going to choose words to write in after the I feel part of each sentence and then use their own words to describe how they feel. So, I feel happy when I'm at my grandma's or something like that. And this is really just helping them and you and them get engaged in these kinds of conversations about identifying their feelings and then when they feel those feelings. Okay, and then this is the last activity in lesson plan number 1. This one's a little bit more in depth. So this one might be also for maybe your middle or high schooler. This is identifying factors that trigger stress or anger reactions. And so I have a little example that you can go over with your mentee. So first off, the first step is to identify if there's a trigger. So I put, you're playing at recess when a ball hits you in the back of the head. And you're just going to walk through this example with your mentee. Number 2 is, how do you understand or interpret that situation? So, you think about why the ball hit you and determine that another student deliberately threw it at you. Then 3 is your emotional reaction. So how did you react, right? So based on your interpretation of that situation, then you feel threatened by the other student and become angry. So then you have an anger reaction. 4 is your decision or choice with that anger reaction. So, because you feel angry, you think about what you should do to protect yourself. You decide to hit the person that threw the ball at you. 5 would be behavior. So, you run over and shove the person who hit you with the ball. So, that'd be actually engaging in that behavior. Then the consequence is that you have to miss recess for the rest of the day for shoving the student, right? So, it's kind of walking them through this step of what triggers them, and then maybe their reactions, and then the consequences for their behavior. And then you maybe go through it again and do it in a more positive way of, you for the understanding or interpretation, you're like, oh, they just accidentally hit that ball at me. And then it's a whole different process, right? And a whole different outcome in the way that you're interpreting or understanding the situation. And then I also provided some definitions at the bottom if they have any questions about what each of those mean. Okay, so now we're going to go into lesson plan number 2, and this is about relaxation techniques, which is one of my favorite topics. So, um, the goal for this one is to establish positive attitudes and skills to help facilitate the ability for mentees to regulate positive behaviors and positive emotions. So the objective and activity for this lesson plan is learning and developing relaxation techniques to better handle stress. So the sample script for this one, oh, sorry, that fell. Today we will learn about stress. Many of the things we worry about can be handled by finding a way to ignore stress. We will learn how to recognize stress and find positive ways to deal with it. And then here are those definitions, what stress is, what relax is. I think it's really important if you can, for you all to go over the signs of stress. So, because typically our body's giving us a signal, right, that if we're stressed or feeling anxious or something's happening in our body to give us a signal that we're feeling stressed. So these are multiple ways that it can do that. Our hands or body shakes, our fists clench, maybe our teeth, we're clenching our teeth, our muscles tighten. It feels like you can't do it. We feel scared, worried, or nervous. Those are some signs that can let us know that maybe we're feeling kind of stressed. And, walking those through with your mentee and saying, how does that look like for you? Like, what physically happens to your body when you feel stressed, and kind of talking that out with them. So here's the first relaxation technique. So when you find yourself feeling stressed, go through the following steps. At the end, you may find your muscles relaxed and your mind clear. So the first step is to find a place that is not too noisy, where you feel comfortable closing your eyes. And I would encourage you, maybe just even, doing this with your mentee in that moment, saying like, hey, let's do a relaxation technique. And so, talking with them about where should we go that's not very noisy, and that we can just kind of close our eyes and take a moment. And then when you find a place or quiet spot, you're going to sit or lie down in a comfortable position. And then after that, you're going to tell them, okay, close your eyes. Now it's time to close your eyes. And then you're going to listen to your breathing, and you're going to draw in deep, full breaths and then let them out slowly. And I would also do this with them. We also can use relaxation techniques too. So engaging this with them and kind of walking them through this process. And then feel yourself relax as you kind of breathe out. And then you're just going to keep on listening to your breathing. Then the fifth step is to tense and tighten your muscles group by group. So this is kind of like, it's called progressive muscle relaxation. So walking them through that. So you're going to breathe in, tighten your muscles, and breathe out and relax your muscles. So for instance, if I was doing this, I would, breathe in, tighten my hands, and then breathe out and release them. And you're going to notice how calm they feel after you've released them. Then the sixth step is let your whole body relax. So you're going to continue to breathe in and out in slow breaths. And then number 7 is think about being in your favorite place, being very relaxed and calm. And then you can also imagine placing worry thoughts into a box and placing on a high shelf or in a tree. So for instance, like thinking about being in your favorite place and being very relaxed and calm, maybe you can provide them an example of what your favorite place is, or where you feel the most calm or relaxed. So for instance, I would say, like, when I think back on this, I think of my grandma's house and like on her couch on a Sunday eating mashed potatoes, probably. So maybe just kind of walk them through what their favorite place is. And then when they feel stressed, trying to go to that place in their head. And then after that, they're just going to sit quietly for a few minutes and kind of take that moment in. And then the next one is a little worksheet on how to let go of stress. So the first question is, write down times you have felt stress or situations that make you feel stressed out. So there's 4 different blanks, and they don't have to fill out all of them, but just starting that conversation with them about, like, when do you feel stressed? What are situations that you feel stressed out? And then it says in class today we talked about some different ways that can help you deal with stress. And we did talk about some of the relaxation techniques. And then there are some more listed below. Check one or two relaxers that you think you can try to use, or write in one that you made up. So one could be, it says talk to a trusted friend or adult, and you can let them know, that's me. I'm your big, so I'm here if you ever need to kind of talk about your stress. Also, research shows that just engaging in exercising and getting your body moving can be really helpful for your stress levels. And then the third one is think positively about yourself in the situation. So engaging in positive feelings towards yourself and positive self-talk. And then the last one is focus on your breath and relaxing your muscles, which is the activity that we just went through. And then maybe even asking them, can you think of anything else that would help you become less stressed or help you de-stress? And having them write that down. That's really great too, because we all just de-stress in different ways. So then being able to identify what helps them specifically. Then 3, this week and then maybe write in a stressful situation, I will blank. So maybe that looks like this week they may say something like, this week when I, take a test or something, then I will engage in deep breathing before I take my test. And then 4, after you tried out using one of the helpers you checked off, write about if it worked for you. Because we're all different and different things work for us. So letting them know that it's okay if it didn't work, but let's identify, if it didn't work, what's another strategy that we can use or implement next time. So they can check, it helped. Yay. Okay, great. It helped. So now use it in the future. Or they can check, I think I'll try something different next time. And then if they check that, Then have them write in what they'll do next time. What's the next thing they're going to try out? Okay, so that's all for the lesson plans I have for today. Um, but I also wanted to let you all know that we need your help. So we were trying to get the parents involved also in this to see, because they're the expert on their kids. So we want to see how this is impacting their kids as well. So we're asking that you reach out to them to see if they will complete a pre and post Qualtrics survey. Their survey is like super short; it takes about 2 minutes. I also have a folder in the Google Drive called Reaching Out to Parents. And in that folder, it will include the flyer in the corner here, and then also a sample script that you all can go through with them if you need further guidance on how to explain what's going on and what this is. And then also letting them know if they do fill out the survey, they will be put in a raffle as well. So following the first survey, they will be entered into a drawing for 5 $25 gift cards. And then following the second survey, they will be entered into a drawing for 5 $25 Amazon gift cards. And then this is the survey link for the first one. So I have it on here as well. And then it's also on the flyer. It's not on this one, but on the flyer in the Google Drive folder, the link to the survey is on the flyer as well. And then this is a little sample script just if you guys want to use it or need further help in explaining this to them. You know, this is when speaking to them about regarding participating in the study, so you could say something like, I'm attending a social emotional mentor training program sponsored by Texas A&M. I'm learning new skills to bring into my meetings with your child or teen. The trainings I will be attending cover topics such as relationship skills, responsible decision making, self-management, self-awareness, and social awareness. And then, parents are encouraged to fill out a short survey before the trainings occur, and then as well as the 12 weeks following the training. It's going to take about 2 to 5 minutes to fill out. And then telling them about those raffles if they agree to take part in the study. It is really important to note that they should know that it's completely optional to complete the surveys, and letting them know that their child or teen will not be given, or will be still given, the opportunity to learn many of the skills, whether they complete the surveys or not. Also letting them know that you will not be reporting anything in regards to their child's behavior. You're only reporting kind of your own behavior in the surveys that you're filling out. And then also letting them know that the parent surveys, their input is so helpful because it helps to see the positive impact that the program has for the mentees as well. And then, if you want to print out the flyer, being like, here's the flyer for more information. And also I'm always available if they have any questions or have any concerns. Also, my advisor, Dr. Sarah Castro Olivo, is available, and I have her email on the flyer as well if they have any questions or need to reach out. We are both open to that. So these are the biweekly check-ins that I had briefly talked about in the beginning. These will all occur over Zoom as well. So these will be every other Thursday from 5:30 to 6:15 p.m. And then those will be the dates of them. And this is just for anyone who has questions or needs further guidance on the lessons. Maybe you need to modify a lesson plan, or you just need some help going forward and doing that lesson plan with your mentee that week. And then if, I know a lot of people have class and that kind of thing too. So if these times don't work for you, feel free to just reach out to me, and I'm happy to meet up with you separately, or also just answer your question via email. So let me know and we can also work that out. But I will be there via Zoom every other Thursday if you need me and need any support in that way. And I just provided this slide as well at the end to kind of go over the project. So we've done step 1, the survey, step 2, you attended the first training session. Congrats. And then we have 3 other steps. Attend the next training session next Thursday. I hope to see you all there. And then you're going to engage in those SEL topics and trainings. And then at the end, after 12 weeks, which will be about mid-May, I will email you all the other survey. Okay, so let's do a drawing. So I'm going to exit out of here, and that way, and put this link into the chat box. That way you all can be entered into this drawing, and one of you or 3 of you will be the winners, and I'll be emailing you your Amazon gift card. So thanks so much for being here. I'll put it in the chat. And the odds are pretty good because there isn't a whole lot of people. So the odds are in your favor that you may be one of the 3. Okay, let me get this going and get this for y'all in the chat.
Kayla, there was a question in the chat if you would send the Google Drive link through an email to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send I'll send that in an email for y'all so that you can access that as well. Or is there any other links that you need access to via email? So that way I can send them all to y'all. Or any that you can think of. Hopefully they're all in the Google Drive. So hopefully once you have access to the Google Drive, if there's anything else that you need, it'll be in that Google Drive. So I'll email that out to you all, and then you have access to all those. But if you ever have trouble finding a survey link or, a link to the to anything, just send me an email, and I'm happy to send that to you guys as well. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Terry. I'll send this. Yes, I'll let you know. This will be a recording for other bigs as well. So y'all can give those out to them. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Do y'all have any other questions for me? Were there any other questions that came in that I didn't already address?
One question was asked about the different lessons according to age. I know that you went over that a little, but if you want to maybe go over it again, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, so I did modify a little bit based on age, and kind of gave you some different options. But if you need it changed more, or if you don't think that will be appropriate for your mentee, reach out to me, and I'm happy to help walk you through changing it a little bit depending on their age. Does that answer your question? Okay, great. Well, that's all I had for y'all tonight. If you need me or have any other questions, feel free to email me. And I, again, thank you all so much for being here. Was everyone able to fill out the raffle? Did that work? I want to make sure everyone gets entered.
I didn't see the link in the chat. Did you send it in there?
Oh, you know what? I sent it as a direct message, I think. So hold on, let me put it in to everyone. Okay.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for saying that. I would have hated that for you if you hadn't have gotten into the raffle. And then if you did attend and didn't get the raffle link as well, just make sure to email me. That way you can get put into the raffle. Do you see it now?
Yeah, everyone got it now.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll probably be emailing you sometime tomorrow, whoever has won that raffle. So, but thanks again for being here, and I will see you all hopefully next Thursday at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Kayla, and thanks Biggs and Big Brothers Big Sisters staff people for being here. I
Yes.
think it looks like a great resource. I'm excited. I know I've been talking to several Bigs this week and talking about tonight, and many of them had work or class or something tonight, but were interested. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to share the recording with them so they can catch up and get on into the, you know, the 12-week program. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll share this, and they're welcome to be involved in the process too once they watched a recorded version. So that's great.
Yeah, thank you so
very
much.
good. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
You too.
Bye.